Welcome to Trading Lounge and the daily US stocks for Tuesday, November 16. So with Amazon on the daily chart here, and this is pretty much the theme with quite a few stocks and also the indices, is that we're looking for wave 1 up the top here, as you know, and then wave 2. So we're looking at 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here for this. And this would line this up with the indices as well. There's obviously other ways to count this as well. We can count this as 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and move to the upside. And I'm aware of that, and I'm aware of all the possibility for trades that we can have as well. We are currently long in this market, and we need to manage what we've got here. So we've got well, these two trades in through here, and we took percentage profit here, and we wanted to get back in a lower price, so we've done that. We've got the stop here for this at the moment, which is well out of the way. We could move it a little bit closer. We'll take a look at that in a moment. It does look a bit bearish there though, doesn't it? We'll check on that. But in a nutshell, we're looking for a move to the 36.50 where we're going to take profit. And then we'll be moving into the ABC, and then we'll pick it up wherever this comes down to. Just want to go in here. This is 100 ticks, so it looks like 1 and 2 here and 1 and 2. Maybe I'll just go to 10 ticks and check on that. Rightio. Well, we thought that looked a little bit bearish, so let's just start with that particular structure and let's just try and solve this problem a little bit. Well, that's at 61.8% there. So if that is bearish, then a move above that would negate that being a bearish count. You could probably look at that as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it looks like it's 2 sets. So probably 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 here. Let's just go and have a little look at that a bit closer. I was going to go into 5 ticks. Sorry about that. Right, we've got 1 and 2 here. Then all of that is probably 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 to that point. So that's 1, 2, 3. 4, 4 and 5, so that's 5 waves. So we can look at that as an A wave, a B wave and a C wave. So that is corrective, that's impulsive, so that's cool. Let's just check on this. We probably could get something out of that. I mean, I was looking at this as 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 here, which is probably right. Let's just also check on. Well, it's pretty deep at that point, isn't it? It's pulled down to the 78.6, so that puts a bit of bearing on that. It looks like here, I mean, naturally I just count that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because I've got 1, 2, I can see all of that. But this little guy in here, that may set it off as 1 and 2 here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and third wave, fourth wave, and fifth wave, so that would put that there. That gives me a 38. Yeah, that gives me a 38.2%. So I'm just figuring out here that worst case scenario that the market could pull back to, well, there's the 35. So it could pull back. We could get an A wave and a B wave and a C wave back here. I doubt it, but it's possible. So we still need to keep the stop under the 35. That's what I'm kind of going for in terms of managing that exposure on that. So just coming back here a little bit. We can move this. Everything looks okay. Okay, we're bullish, but just in case, I'm just going to put that. I can move that closer, but I can't move it any closer because from that low to that high, that's the 61.8%, and that will offer a really nice support on the 35 as well if that comes down. So worst case scenario, down and then up like that, and then that would be 5 waves in that regard. That would be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. But let's just see what See how the cookie crumbles. Nothing to really panic about there. But we do want to take profit anywhere above that top there. You can start. There's going to be trouble at 36, so you could even just take some off the table at 36 again as well here. So I'll just put that at the 36 just in case you want to do that. I'm just going to save all of that. So Amazon's cruising, so that's all good. Google. So with Google, as you know, we've got two tops for this. Not that it matters. We'll buy it back here, all right? But I think this is the right one here. It's very much like Amazon, really, isn't it? This little pattern here. So we can look at one over here. Not so much this one. We'll dull that one out just as an alternative, but we'll go in and look at both of them. The first one is looking at with this high here, and that's on the 100 tick. So that's looking at this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I never like that because I could count 5 waves in this structure here. So I could call that 1 and 2 here, and then 1 and 2. But the problem with that is that this one here just overlapped that one a little bit. So that's why it's like that, but I don't think that's the case. I think this is going to go. Anyway, we'll look at so in this case here, wave 1 is already in, and we've got an A and a B and a C wave here for the B wave, just like we looked at Amazon moving up, and then we're down for the C wave here. So the other point here is that we can look at that as a bullish move to the upside as 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. We don't want to see the market pull down past, 61.8% at that point. And the other count, which is on the 10-tick chart, which is the one I sort of prefer and have been working with, is looking at this as 1 and 2 here and then 1 and 2 here. But I know Elliott people would throw stuff at me for that. But, you know, it's just, anyway, the proof will be in the pudding. So, yeah, looking at this as 1 and 2, and we can put that in there as 3 and 4 now. And, yeah, I'm not quite sure about all of that, but that doesn't matter too much. We're sort of sitting on the 38, so that's okay. We shouldn't drop much lower. We should just push up from that point. That will take us up into wave 5. But let's see, it doesn't really matter because, you know, at the end of the day, if it drops from here, we want to buy this wave too, so we need to work on that, you know. And if it goes up here with the rest of the market, then we'll be looking at some sort of larger ABC pattern here that we need to work through. And the wave 2 here, the wave 2 should be a simple zigzag pattern. It should be 5, 3, and 5. So it should be a 5, 3, 5 structure, and it should be simple. The A wave down here will be sharp, and hopefully the C wave will be on a bit more of an angle with all of that. Don't need those, all just squash up when I close the platform. Okay, so that's Google, so that's where that is. Apple. It's a little bit tricky, Apple, because you know, maybe this here is an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave to the upside. And when the other markets pull back for their wave 2, this one here could pull back for a wave 4. So we do need to be a little bit careful about all of this and take things one step at a time. We could also look at this, if I copy that for a moment and put that over here. We talked about this yesterday, I think, and copy that and put that over here. So in this case, we also do the same thing as well, 1 and 2 and 3, and just the spike here makes it a little bit more complicated. And yeah, so we could come deeper into all of this here. Let's just go into the tick chart and have a bit of a look at it. So so the way I've been tracking it so far is, you know, we're looking for, I'll just get in a little bit more data here. How much do we need? So we're looking at this blue wave 1 up here. Then I looked at this as blue wave 2 here, but couldn't really get 5 waves up unless I used this as wave 1 and 2 here, which is still plausible. But I couldn't see inside of that. And I could see I had 5 waves here for the A wave, the B wave, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. So it really played out as a B wave here. So I've gone with that, with an A and a B and a C wave here for that. And then we were looking for, we had trades placed down here, and we took a percentage here. I'm keeping the stop out of the way of this here, and looking at this as wave 2 in play there. Doesn't look very impulsive to the upside so far, but that little move there looks corrective, so it looks like it wants to push up, but we'll get to that in a moment. So I had a blue wave 1, blue wave 2, and then yesterday, well, over the last 3 days or whatever, we've been working this to the long side. We've got 5 waves up there now, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 there if you're looking for the first wave and the second wave, the third, the fourth. A little bit dodgy here, but it's okay. As one, let's pull back to the 50-60% retracement level. So technically it should move up again. If we were going to add to this, we'd need to add to it above the 51 area through here. Yeah, so there's a variety of counts here. When I don't know what's going on, I just revert back to price, and the price at the moment is the 150, and that's where the market, the 150 is the medium level, and that's what this market is doing. It's snaking across there. So I don't really make any sort of full-on decisions until we've got group 1 above the 150 and group 2 below here. That's the swing range that I always say. So be very careful what you do within this space here. Because it's only when the 53 becomes the support that we're going to be leaving that number. And if we're looking for a bearish count, well, then it would be on this case as well. But when we're looking for a bullish count up here and it does spike below here, well, we take that with a pinch of salt and we look for the wave count and we take that on board. But if we're looking for a breakout, so to speak, and we're looking bearish, well, then we would trade that situation. But we're looking at the long side. So we'll take the long side breakout above 53, but we're far from that at the moment. So I have to say here, I don't know what's going to occur at this point. So it is possible that we could have sort of 1 and 2 here, 3, 4 and 5 as a top here for that wave 1 here, you know, lining that up with the rest of the markets. So I think that we need to consider that, consider it in a way that that we prepare for it in terms of our, you know, if the market's moving in this direction off this level, well, we want to be long, and we're already got some pocket money in here. And if the trade is going to continue, well, you know, we want to do our job. So, but at the same time, if that's going to be 1 up there, well, then we need to be, you know, we need to take the money off the table here. Patiently wait, excuse me, and then move back in. So yeah, we have to work the trade. So that's what we'll do at that point. So I just do want to have a bit of a look at this here. So let's just go into 10 ticks and just check on that. Is that it there? That's it there. So okay, rightio, a little bit wonky here, but 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. So all of that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's one wave structure. That's 1 and 2, and that's 3, 4, 5. So all of that is is the impulse wave for that side. That's all adds up. So that could be the A wave, the B wave here. And then we've got this here as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. There's no overlap, so it works. So it does does quite work nicely as an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave here. But obviously we're not really getting a nice impulse wave here. We could look at this as 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 here and 1 and 2 here, an A and a B and a C for 2 here. So it's possible to build it to the upside, but it's also possible to call this corrective as well and then see further downside here for all of this. So yeah, it's just a little bit early to say. But if that's corrective, then we should be taking out that high. So that helps us with that situation. And so in a nutshell, this has taken out wave B here. That would be the safe long trade at that point. Obviously that's a long way away as such, but that's as far as I can go at this point to be safe. What's the other side here? That's all that third wave there, so that's all of that. So sorry for burning up time. Yeah, we're kind of there, aren't we? And we're sticking to the 150. We'll just hang in there with all of this. Let me just go back here now and get perspective. So yeah, we can look at that. We can look at this here as I think I'll label this here just so I remember what I've done and haven't done. Not to say that it's right, it's a possibility, it's not confirmed yet, but we should push up here a little bit. So that there, we know that can go over there. So we could probably move a little bit earlier. So that 150, see that 150.50 there, you could probably take a chance and look for a classic trading levels pattern on top of that and go long. But I'll leave that to you. Just don't let it go past this, In fact, that's the stop should go. I think we will protect a bit more of what we've got here. I think we'll just pop that in there. We need to tighten things up, so. Yeah, okay. Sorry for taking so long on that. And square, don't need all of that, of course. So the daily bars here are incorrect. Yeah, it's just they haven't sort of fixed them up. But yeah, we're on this journey to the downside. We've had this little spike here that it's chucked a bit of a spanner in the works because I was looking for 5 waves down into this space here, but maybe we get something else a little bit weirder. Let me go to the tick chart. Yeah, okay, anyway, so my problem with this pop here is that we were looking for wave 4, but it's moved too high. It's moved too high because if we've got that as wave 1 over here, then we've got a very clear overlap at that point. So I need to ponder this situation a little bit more. I want the market to come down further. I mean, it's really in line with PayPal, so if I can look at PayPal for a moment. This is PayPal. Let me just square this up a little bit here. That's better. So, I mean, we could look at this in different ways, but wave A and B here. Well, I wonder if we can look at it as 1, 2, 3. No, we can't because of overlap there. So I think this is the right track. So this is PayPal. The 38.2% retracement level for this wave 4 is around the 200 area through here. So I wasn't expecting it to come down much further, and I was expecting this wave 4 to come into play here. If we look at all of this as the third wave here, I'll need to do a little bit of work on that, and maybe it's not finished, maybe there's another little move down here, but we are getting closer here, but we're not finished yet. So I want PayPal to be finished in line with Square, well, reasonably close. You know, they're in the same sector, the same niche to a point. They're both playing with Bitcoin in their own way, so on and so on. So yeah, just not finished yet. So that means that I'm just going to leave that there for the time being. I just want to see what else happens here for a moment. I'm not going to call a low in, and I don't want to change the pattern just yet. We'll just gather a little bit more info on that. But just to let you know that wave 4 overlaps wave 1. So there's problems here for this. Sure, I could tighten all of this up and have it finished here, but I can see how I can do that, but that's not going to help us really. So I just want to wait to see if this unfolds further down at this point. And maybe we're in a bigger bear market with this, who knows. You know, I mean, I think the market's sort of saying in a way that Afterpay they bought for 36 billion, 26 billion. Just thought it was overpriced a little bit, but they did come up with a really unique idea of having, payments for, because you normally buy clothes and items online with not only Square but with Afterpay, and you pay it off in 4 lots. But they're taking that concept into dining now and into pubs and bars and so on. So you can rack it up and pay for it later in lots. Now that's a bit dangerous, isn't it? Anyway, that's a good idea, I guess. Okay, Pete, pull yourself together, mate. Okay, so Facebook. So our primary account with Facebook is an A and a B and a C here. I don't particularly like the C wave. It's a bit too short, and it's it looks like a B wave rather than a C wave, and we could do it differently, and that's why I've got the B wave over here, because we could look at this as an A and a B and a C wave over here for that, but that doesn't work because that will take us much higher. So the other thing is to look at all of this as the A wave here and the B wave here and the C wave down here. So I'm looking at a bearish count and a bullish count here. So at the midpoint, at the 350 here, then, which is also the 50-60% retracement level. So if we think to ourselves, well, a lot of those companies that we're looking at having a wave 1 up here and then coming back for a wave 2. Is that possible? I can't see that in the structure here so far, but I will give that some more thought. But even so, at the same time, we need to understand that when the other markets are, the indices that are coming down into wave 2, how's that going to affect Facebook? Does that mean that Facebook could make a new low at that point? Having all this as the A wave, the B wave, and the C wave down here, is that possible? So there's a few things going on here with this. Obviously, stocks can do their own thing as well, and they've got their own, events in their own pipelines. Let's just go to the 100 tick, go intraday here. So what we've done here is we've just played it safe. So I've called that the B wave here. Not that it's going to be correct or anything, but it does. Let's just go back a bit further here, because I always found it a bit difficult to count 5 waves up for the first move here. So I can count as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for this. Doesn't count very nicely as a 4th wave, I know that. We could look at this as an A and a B and a C wave here for the A wave as well. But it doesn't count nicely as 5 waves up here. That's the problem. So it suits an A wave and a B wave and then a C wave up here. So I just thought, well, let's just chill out. So we traded along here and bought another position and then moved the stop up up here, but the market's moved up quite quickly last night. So our aim was to take profit here at the 350. So that squares us up at this particular point. I could see that this could be counted slightly differently. This is probably the right count. I could probably see this being a wave 4 over here and then a wave 5 over here. I'll just put those there actually, because what that will do, that will give us another move up here in line with the rest of the market. So, you know, the rest of the markets are looking for that wave 1 up there, aren't they? So it's possible to do that. So we wanted to trade to here, and if we get a classic trading levels pattern, we're going to go long again. So we can do that, but just be we can go long. In fact, we can bring that down now. That's down to here. So above that top there, we can trade long again, but we're going to keep it very tight coming into this situation, and we'll need to know, you know, the other markets, what they're doing at that particular time as well, and so on and so on. So it's really just high risk trade from here on in. I mean, it's typical for the wave 4. I'd expect wave 4 to break the trend line. You know, that's what we'd be looking at. We don't need that. So if you do take that trade, realize that we may not be going very far. But it might be okay for, you know, a day trade or something, go from 50 to 55 or something, you know. But anyway, we're out of this trade now, so we're just going to see what happens. Just going to gather information at this point for this one. Okay, Tesla. Okay, so yeah, we need to look at this here. There's a couple. I think I'll go to the intraday for this. So 100 ticks. Bring in some more data. Okay, that's enough. So what I've been doing here, I've got a couple of options here. I'm not sure which is the right one. So counted down here is 1 and 2, and then 1 and 2, and 1 and 2, and then down for 3, 4, and 5 here for the third wave, the fourth wave, the fifth wave. If that's the third wave, the 38.2% retracement level is here. We can look at this as an A and a B and a C wave for wave 4 at that point. And then I was counting down here this morning as 1 and 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the third wave, and then here as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I was calling that in the low. So that's good. That's popped up since I've seen that. So that's good. So this doesn't really make much difference to the counts that I got. So one count is that this, well, first of all, if I count 5 waves down to here, we can call that the A wave. And then we would be looking back up here for an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave over here, pulling back, well, maybe to the 110 area here, maybe a tad above, whatever. So there's that situation, and then we come down again in another 5, and then we'll have our buying at this point. So we've got either all of this is the A wave, then the B wave, and then the C wave down here, or we need to put this, copy this, and put this B wave over here. I'll just dull it out a bit. So looking at this here as an A wave here in 3 waves, and then a B wave here, and then 5 waves down. So that means that if I can just copy this here, that becomes wave 1 here. Copy that for wave 2 coming back into that 50-60% retracement level, and then wave 3, 4, and 5. So I don't know which one's right. We'll know soon, but I just don't know which one is right. So I'm just going to have to leave it at that. And then Microsoft. So yeah, we're looking for, well, a little move up here to complete this wave 1. Will it reach 350? I don't know. We just got to do our best to track it to the upside. But even 1 and 2, I think, is going to be really quite tight for this market. It's not going to drop like 78.6 or 61.8% or something like that. You know, I think it's going to be quite a tightly held ABC pattern here that could probably take us to 320 or something. But anyway, we just have to count the waves. So going to the tick chart here and picking it up from we've had wave 3 here, and we label this the A wave, the B wave, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the C wave of wave 4. This has also been a little bit of a template for the market in general. So, and there's other stocks like this. So I've had this here as wave 1 and wave 2 here, and with Google we've had that as wave 3 up here, but there's pullback down here. So from this low here to, I don't know if I went to that high or that high. Anyway, that's the 61.8%. I better check now that I've opened my gob. That's a little bit low, but it doesn't matter, get the idea. So that's, yeah, that I took it from that. Not to worry. This is my problem. We've either got wave 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 here, and then we're going up for wave 3 here. So let's just imagine that takes us to the 350. So that will be somewhere like, well, I'll have to put that there, there, and there, and that would be there, and that would be there somewhere. And then we need this one and this one. Will it be that big? I mean, it scoots along, but is it like that? It's either like that, or we can copy this and put wave 1 here, and copy this and put wave 2 here. But it didn't pull back down to the 50-60%, but that's not a biggie. But I find it hard to count it like that, so I'm just going to remove that and that. But it's possible. But as a third wave in here, it doesn't count it's too short as a third wave. That's the other problem here. So I would imagine that's all the A wave here, the B wave and the C wave finishing off here. So you could probably add to the position if you wanted to at this point. We've got that one to break even, so if you wanted to, if you're feeling lucky, and then the stop for that particular trade would just go under here for that. We'll just keep it really tight. And we'll leave that one a bit lower. So if that's the case, we're looking for 5 waves up here. Anyway, it'll become apparent as we move along. But we would want this one here, and I'm just going to take it to the number there. We would expect that to be longer. This wave 5, this wave 3 here, we need it longer than wave 1. And if it's not, well, then we might need to look at that as wave 5 coming down here, as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, because all we need to do is make a move above the top here. So I'll just copy that and I'll put that wave 4 there just to remind us that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because markets don't top the way that you think that they will. You know, they're pulled around by other markets and another bit of news from somewhere else, and then they start to correct and we're all caught out. So we need to look for weird business, weird structures. Okay, so anyway, that's where we are there, and I do want to have a look at banks. So not a lot of movement here for this. So Bank of America, we've got wave 1 and 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5. So we've got wave 4 here. So we're looking for that to push up there, up into 50. So that's where that is. Just want to have a look at Yeah, this should push up as well. This is, what's the name? It's there. One of the other things that I'm going to look at as well as we go along is stocks that are in this new metaverse space with all of this. So these are some of the main players in here. Unity, TSM, which is, you know, the chip maker. Nvidia's in here as well. Here it is here. So they're chip makers for that particular world. Amazon supplying web services for that. Facebook has bought Oculus for 65 billion. I don't know. I've got Oculuses. They're quite good. Roblox, Autodesk, software, content creation, and of course here we've got Meta, which is which is the EFT on the metaverse. So yeah, we'll get our head about this as well. So this move that's moving up through here, is this the ETF or is this Facebook with Meta? I'm a bit confused, but anyway, I'll sort. Anyway, just to let you know, I'm sorting it out, and I'm just going to probably take a stake in the stock world, but also I'll want to do that in the on the blockchain as well. Alrighty, well that's it. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you tomorrow. Cheers.